Dr. Juan floated through the narrow corridor of the research ship, Harmony's Dream. Her boots made soft clicking sounds on the metal floor as the artificial gravity kept her grounded. The ship hummed quietly around her as it moved through the dark space near Kepler 442. She had been working in space for 6 years now but still loved the feeling of being among the stars. The research vessel was small compared to military ships. It only had 4 crew members and was built for studying planets and minerals. Jiwon was the lead scientist. She studied rocks and metals from different worlds. Her team was like family to her after spending 2 years together in the deep space. Minho worked as their engineer. He was a quiet man who could fix anything on the ship. His hands were always dirty from working on machines, but his mind was sharp. He came from Busan and often talked about the ocean back home. In space, he missed the sound of waves but found peace in the steady hum of the ship's engines. Hannah was their communications officer. She was young and energetic. Her job was to keep them connected to Earth and monitor space frequencies. She had learned 12 different alien languages through computer programs. Her station was covered with screens showing radio waves and signal patterns from across the galaxy. Daeon served as their security officer, though they rarely needed security. He was a former military man who joined the research team because he wanted to see new worlds. He was big and strong but gentle with the scientific equipment. He spent most of his time helping the others with their work and keeping the ship safe. The Kepler 442 system was far from Earth. It took them 8 months to travel here using the fastest human ships. They came to study the mineral deposits on the system's asteroids. Early scans from Earth showed unusual metals that could help build better spacecraft. The work was slow but important for humanity's future in space. On this day, Jiwon was reviewing rock samples in the main laboratory. The samples came from 3 different asteroids. Each one showed traces of elements that were rare on Earth. She was excited about what they might find. The minerals could make human ships stronger and faster. Suddenly, Hannah's voice came through the ship's communication system. Her voice sounded different. Usually she was calm and professional, but now she seemed worried. Dr. Jiwon, please come to the communications room immediately. I am picking up something strange. Jiwon pushed herself away from her work table and moved quickly through the ship. She found Hannah sitting at her station with headphones on. Multiple screens showed wave patterns that looked different from anything Jiwon had seen before.
What?
Is it Hannah? It is a distress signal, but not from any human ship. The pattern is completely alien. I have never seen anything like this before. Minho and Daeun arrived at the communications room after hearing the conversation. The 4 crew members gathered around Hannah's station as she played the signal through the speakers. The sound was unlike anything they had heard. It was hype and musical, but also desperate. The patterns repeated every few seconds like someone crying for help. Behind the main signal, they could hear what sounded like explosions and destruction. Can you translate it? Jiwon asked. Hannah's fingers moved quickly over her keyboard. She activated the universal translator that was built into their communication system. The device used advanced computers to understand new languages by analyzing patterns and mathematics. After several minutes of processing, the computer began to produce words in English. The voice that came from the speakers was mechanical, but the message was clear. Please help us. We are the Villani people. Our world is under attack. We have heard of the humans from Sol 3. You are known as the Deathworlders. You are strong fighters. Please save us from the Korthok Empire. They are destroying our cities and killing our people. We cannot fight them. We are peaceful traders. We have families and children. Please help us before it is too late. The message repeated several times with the same desperate plea. In the background, they could hear sounds of battle and destruction. The Villani sounded terrified and hopeless. The 4 humans looked at each other in silence. This was first contact with an alien species asking for help. No human had ever received a distress call from aliens before. They were scientists, not soldiers, but they could not ignore this cry for help. Where is the signal coming from? Jiwon asked. Hannah checked her instruments. The signal is coming from a star system about 40 light-years from here. It would take us months to reach them even at maximum speed. We cannot help them directly, Daeun said. We are just one small research ship. We have no weapons and no military training except for basic security, but we can send their message to Earth. Minho suggested. Earth Command needs to know about this. Jiwon felt the weight of the decision. As the mission commander, she had to choose what to do. The regulations said they should report any alien contact to Earth immediately. But this was more than just contact. This was a request for military help. The Villani called us death, she said slowly. They have heard of humans somehow. They think we are strong fighters. Maybe other alien species have been watching us, Hannah said. Maybe they know about our wars and our military. Or maybe they know that Earth is a dangerous planet, Daeun added. Most worlds might be more peaceful than Earth. They might think we are tough because we survived on such a hostile world. Guan made her decision. Hannah, send the full message to Earth Command immediately. Include our location and all the signal data. Earth needs to know that aliens are asking for our help. Should we try to respond to the Villani? Hannah asked. Tell them that we have received their message and that we are sending it to our home world. Tell them that help may be coming. As Hannah worked to send the message to Earth, the crew continued to listen to the Villani distress call. The sounds of battle seemed to be getting worse. The alien voices sounded more desperate with each repetition. None of them knew that this single message would change everything. They did not know that Earth's military was much more powerful than most aliens realized. They did not know that humans had a reputation in the galaxy as dangerous creatures from a death world. They only knew that someone needed help, and they had done what they could to get that help. The message was now traveling toward Earth at faster than light speed. Soon the leaders of humanity would have to decide whether to answer the call of the desperate. Villani people dot in the dark space around them. The small research ship continued its work while the crew waited for Earth's response. They had no idea that they had just started the largest military operation in human history. Admiral Sung-ho stood in the command center of Terra Defense Station, high above Earth. The massive space station orbited the planet like a metal moon. Through the large windows he could see the blue and green world below with its swirling white clouds. Ships moved in and out of the station, constantly carrying supplies and personnel. The morning had started normally until the priority message arrived from the Kepler 442 system. The communication came from Dr. Jiwon's research team. What they found changed everything for Earth's military command. The message played on the main screen in the command center. Dozens of officers watched as the alien distress call filled the room. The Villani voices sounded desperate and afraid. Behind their words came the sounds of explosions and destruction. The universal translator made their plea clear in simple English. We are the Villani people. Our world is under attack. We have heard of the humans from Southri. You are known as the Deathworlders. You are strong fighters. Please save us from the Korthok Empire. When the message ended, the command center fell silent. This was humanity's first contact with alien life, and it was a cry for help. Every officer in the room understood the importance of this moment. Admiral Sung-ho had served in Earth's military for 30 years. He had fought in the Mars Colonial War and the asteroid mining conflicts. He was a strong leader who made hard decisions quickly, but this decision was bigger than anything he had faced before. Get me Chancellor Yoonji immediately. He ordered his communications officer. Within minutes, a hologram of Chancellor Yoonji appeared in the command center. She was Earth's civilian leader and had to approve any major military action. Her face showed concern as she listened to the alien message for the first time. This changes everything, Admiral, she said after hearing the recording. We are no longer alone in the universe. The aliens are asking for our help, Chancellor. They called us Deathworlders and said we are strong fighters. Somehow they know about human military capabilities. Chancellor Yoonji was quiet for a moment. She was thinking about the political implications of first contact. Call an emergency meeting of the Defense Council. We need General Kung-soo and the other military leaders here immediately. The Defense Council met within 2 hours. The room was filled with Earth's top military commanders and government officials. General Kyung-soo commanded the Human Defense Fleet. He was a tactical genius who had studied alien technology reports for years. He had always believed that humans would eventually meet hostile alien species. The message mentions the Korthok Empire, General Kung-soo said as he reviewed the intelligence reports. Our deep space monitors have detected energy signatures that might be from alien ships in that region. If these Korthoks are attacking peaceful species, they might attack us next. But we don't know anything about their military strength. Chancellor Unji replied, we could be walking into a trap or starting a war. We cannot win. Admiral Sung-ho stood up and activated the holographic display. It showed the galaxy with Earth at the center and the Villani system marked in red. With respect, Chancellor, we have been preparing for this day since we first left Earth. Our military was built to defend humanity against unknown threats. The debate continued for hours. Some council members wanted to send a small diplomatic mission first. Others argued for staying hidden until they learned more about alien civilizations. But General Kung-soo had a different plan. Earth's military strength comes from our history, he explained. We evolved on a world that tried to kill us every day. We survived ice ages and plagues and natural disasters. We fought wars for thousands of years before we reached space. Most alien species probably evolved on easier worlds. What are you suggesting, General? The Chancellor asked. I am suggesting that these aliens might be right to call us Death. Earth is a harsh planet compared to most worlds in the galaxy. We might actually be stronger than we realize. The discussion was interrupted when Captain Wanbin entered the council chamber. He commanded the flagship Iron Phoenix and was known as one of Earth's best military leaders. His ship was the most advanced warship in the human fleet. Forgive the interruption, but we have received additional messages from the Villani system. Captain Wanbin reported. The situation is getting worse. The aliens are sending more desperate calls for help. Admiral Sung-ho made the decision that would change human history. We cannot ignore this call for help. If we want to be respected in the galaxy, we must show that humans protect those who cannot protect themselves. Chancellor Yunji nodded slowly. Very well, Admiral. What are you proposing? Full military response. We send the entire defense fleet to the Volani system. We show these Korthoks that humanity will not allow the destruction of peaceful species. General Kungsu smiled. He had been waiting for this moment his entire career. I will prepare the fleet immediately. How many ships do you want to send? All of them, Admiral Sungho replied. Every warship we have. Every trained soldier. This is humanity's introduction to galactic politics. We need to make a strong first impression. Within hours, Earth's military machine began moving. The human defense fleet consisted of over 200 warships of different sizes. The flagship Iron Phoenix led the formation with Captain Wanbin commanding. Behind it came heavy cruisers and destroyers built for long-range warfare. Commander Sora led the elite Deathworld Marines. These soldiers were trained to fight in the harshest environments imaginable. They could survive in vacuum space and toxic atmospheres. They were used to fighting on worlds where most humans would die. Within minutes, the fleet also included support ships carrying supplies and medical equipment. Transport vessels held thousands of soldiers and their equipment. Engineering ships brought repair materials and construction tools. This was the largest military force that humanity had ever assembled. As the ships prepared to leave Earth's solar system, messages arrived from humanity's allies. The Centaurian Republic offered to send medical supplies. The Andromedan Collective provided advanced scanning equipment, but both alien allies warned Earth about the dangers ahead. The Korthok Empire is known throughout this region of the galaxy, the Centaurian ambassador reported. They have conquered dozens of species. Their military technology is very advanced. Are you certain that humanity can defeat them? Admiral Sungho's reply was simple and direct. We are about to find out. The final preparations took 3 days. Every ship was checked and rechecked. Weapon systems were tested and soldiers received their final briefings. The fleet would travel for weeks to reach the Volani system. During that time, they would prepare for the largest battle in human history. As the fleet launched from Earth orbit, millions of people watched from the planet below. They knew their military was heading into the unknown to help strangers. This was humanity's first test as a galactic species. Admiral Sungho stood on the bridge of his command ship watching Earth grow smaller behind them. He did not know that this mission would make humanity famous across the galaxy as the Death who protect the innocent. The journey to save the Volani people had begun. The human defense fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Volani system. Captain Wanbin stood on the bridge of the Iron Phoenix watching the main display screen. What he saw made his blood run cold. The Volani homeworld was surrounded by alien warships. Dozens of massive vessels floated in space around the planet like hungry predators. The ships were dark and angular, with weapon ports glowing red along their hulls. Even from this distance, the human sensors could detect the power signatures of advanced military technology. My God, whispered Lieutenant Subin from her position at the tactical station. There are so many of them. Commander Taiwan led the reconnaissance division from his ship, the Silent Runner. His job was to gather intelligence about enemy forces before the main battle began. His ship was built for stealth and speed rather than direct combat. Captain Wanbin, this is Commander Taiwan. His voice came over the communication system. I am reading 47 Korthok warships in orbit around the planet. They are much larger than our vessels. Each one appears to be heavily armed. Through the ship's powerful telescopes they could see the Volani planet below. The world looked beautiful from space with blue oceans and green continents. But dark smoke rose from several locations where cities were burning. Explosions lit up the night side of the planet as the Korthoks continued their attack. Are there any Volani ships fighting back? Captain Wanbin asked. Negative, sir. I am not detecting any active Volani military vessels. It appears they have no significant defense force. The situation was worse than anyone had expected. The Volani were completely helpless against the Korthok invasion. Their world was being destroyed while they waited for help that might never come. Admiral Sung's voice came over the fleet communication channel. All ships maintain current position. We need to assess the situation before we engage. The Korthok ships were impressive but also intimidating. Each vessel was at least twice the size of the largest human warship. Their hulls were covered in armor plating that reflected the light of the system's star. Weapon turrets moved constantly as they tracked targets on the planet below. Commander Sora prepared her Deathworld Marines for possible combat. These soldiers were trained to fight in conditions that would kill ordinary humans. They wore advanced armor that could function in vacuum space or toxic atmospheres. Their weapons were designed to work in any environment. Marines, listen up. Commander Sora announced to her troops. We are about to face an unknown enemy. They have superior numbers and larger ships. But they have never fought soldiers from Earth. Remember your training and trust your equipment. On the planet's surface, the Volani cities were under constant bombardment. Civilian evacuation ships tried to escape, but many were destroyed by Korthok fighters. The aliens showed no mercy to the peaceful traders, who had never harmed anyone. The Korthok fleet had established a complete blockade around the planet. Nothing could get in or out without their permission. They were taking their time with the destruction, as if they enjoyed watching the Villani suffer. Captain Wanbin received a priority message on his personal communication device. The message was directed specifically to him from the Korthok fleet. Someone wanted to talk. "Sir, we are receiving a transmission from the enemy fleet," reported Communications Officer Yemen. "They are requesting to speak with our commanding officer." Put it through to the main screen. The display changed to show the interior of an alien bridge. The creature that appeared was unlike anything humans had ever seen. Warlord Jektos was tall and thin, with gray skin and 4 arms. His head was elongated with large black eyes that showed no emotion. He wore military decorations that suggested high rank. "I am Warlord Jektos, commander of the Korthok 3rd Fleet." The alien spoke in accented English. "You are the humans from the small world called Earth. We have heard rumors about your species." Captain Wanbin stepped forward. "I am Captain Wanbin, of the Human Defense Fleet. You are attacking innocent people. Withdraw from this system immediately." Warlord Jektos made a sound that might have been laughter. "Innocent, the Villani are a weak species that serves no purpose. We are bringing order to this region of space. Your interference is not welcome here. The Villani asked for our help. We are here to provide it. Look around you, human. We have 47 warships against your small fleet. Each of our vessels is larger and more powerful than anything you possess. Leave now, and we will allow you to return to your little world." The alien commander studied Captain Wanbin through the screen. "We have reviewed the galactic databases about your species. Earth is listed as a class M world with standard gravity and atmosphere. You evolved from primitive hunters on a garden planet. You have no significant military achievements beyond your own star system." Captain Wanbin felt anger building inside him. The Korthaks had completely underestimated humanity. They saw Earth as just another peaceful world with weak inhabitants. "You commanded with have made a mistake, Warlord Jektos. Earth is not a garden world. It is a death world where only the strong survive. We have been fighting wars for thousands of years. We know how to deal with bullies." Death world. The alien seemed confused by the term. "Your planet appears normal in our databases. Water, oceans, breathable atmosphere, moderate temperatures. How can this be a death world? Because everything on Earth tries to kill you. We have predators that hunt in packs. We have diseases that can wipe out entire populations. We have weather that can destroy cities. We have fought wars that killed millions of people. We survived all of this and became stronger." Warlord Jektos studied the human captain with new interest. "Even if this is true, you are still outnumbered. We have conquered dozens of species across 3 star systems. Our military technology is far superior to yours, then you should have no problem defeating us." The alien commander's expression changed. He was beginning to realize that these humans might be different from other species he had encountered. Most civilizations surrendered when faced with overwhelming odds, but the humans seemed eager to fight despite being outnumbered. "Very well, human. You have chosen to die with the Villani. We will destroy your fleet and then finish eliminating this worthless species." The communication ended and the screen went dark. Both fleets began preparing for battle. The Korthaks had superior numbers and firepower, but they had never fought. An enemy from a death world, Admiral Sungho, addressed the entire human fleet. "All ships prepare for combat. We are about to show the galaxy what humans can do when innocent people need protection. Remember, we are not just fighting for the Villani. We are fighting for Earth's honor." The battle for the Villani system was about to begin. The battle began at dawn on the Villani homeworld. Warlord Jektos ordered his fleet to attack the human ships with overwhelming force. 47 Korthok warships moved forward in perfect formation, their weapons charged with deadly energy as they prepared to destroy the smaller human fleet. Captain Wanbin watched the enemy approach from the bridge of the Iron Phoenix. His tactical officers reported enemy positions and weapon signatures. The Korthok ships were massive and powerful, but they moved in predictable patterns like they had done this many times before. "All ships scatter formation." Captain Wanbin ordered, "Do not engage in direct combat. Use hit and run tactics." The human fleet broke apart into smaller groups. Instead of meeting the Korthoks head-on, they spread out across the system. This confused the enemy commanders who expected a traditional space battle between opposing fleets. Commander Sora led her Deathworld Marines in a desperate plan. While the main fleets fought in space, her soldiers would board enemy ships directly. This was considered impossible by most alien species because it meant fighting in the vacuum of space without ship protection. "Marines, prepare for vacuum combat," Commander Sora announced to her troops. "We are going to show these aliens how humans fight when everything around us is trying to kill us." The Korthoks opened fire with their main weapons. Bright energy beams crossed space toward the human ships, but the humans did not try to absorb the damage like most species would. Instead, they moved constantly, using asteroids and debris as cover. Pilot Nayan commanded a squadron of human fighters. Her ships were small and fast compared to the massive Korthok vessels. She led her pilots through the asteroid belt at speeds that would terrify most alien pilots. "Follow me through the rocks," she called to her squadron. "These aliens have never fought in a debris field. They are too big and slow to follow us here." Her wingman, Jiwan, stayed close behind her as they weaved between floating rocks. The Korthok fighters tried to pursue them but could not match their speed and agility in the dangerous environment. Several enemy ships crashed into asteroids while trying to keep up. Engineer Gunho worked frantically in the engine room of the Iron Phoenix. The ship had taken damage from enemy weapons, but instead of retreating, he found ways to keep fighting. Human ships were built to survive damage and keep operating even when systems failed. "Captain, we have lost main power to the forward weapons," he reported over the communication system, "but I can reroute power from life support systems. We can keep firing for another hour." "Do it," Captain Wanbin replied. "We have survived worse than this." The Korthoks were starting to realize that these humans fought differently than any enemy they had faced before. Most species tried to protect their ships and avoid damage, but the humans seemed to accept damage as part of fighting, and found ways to continue the battle even when hurt. Commander Sora's Marines launched from their transport ships in individual spacesuits. They used small thruster packs to fly through space toward the enemy vessels. The Korthaks could not believe what they were seeing. No species they knew would voluntarily enter vacuum space during combat. "Target the boarding pods," Warlord Jektos ordered his gunners. But the human Marines were not using pods. They were flying individually through space, making them almost impossible to hit with large ship weapons. Lieutenant Subin led a boarding party that attached to the hull of a Korthok. CRUISER. The Marines used cutting tools to burn through the enemy ship's armor. Within minutes, they had created a hole and entered the alien vessel. The Korthoks inside the ship panicked when armed humans appeared in their corridors. They had never faced boarders who could survive in space and fight inside a damaged vessel. The Marines moved through the ship, destroying critical systems and capturing key areas. "This is impossible," one Korthok officer reported to his commander. "The humans are fighting inside our ship while it is still in combat. They are not wearing full atmospheric suits. How are they surviving the hull breaches?" The answer was simple. Human Marines were trained to fight in any environment. Their equipment was designed to work in vacuum, toxic atmosphere, or extreme temperatures. They treated the inside of a damaged enemy ship as just another hostile environment to survive. Pilot Nayan discovered that human fighters could use the system's gravity well as a weapon. She led her squadron close to the Vellani planet and used the gravitational pull to increase their speed. Then she turned and fired on pursuing Korthok ships that were too heavy to make the same maneuver. The Korthoks found themselves fighting an enemy that used the environment as part of their strategy. The humans turned asteroids into weapons by pushing them toward enemy ships. They used the planet's gravity to accelerate their attacks. They fought in conditions that should have killed them. Engineer Gunho made emergency repairs to human ships during the battle. When a vessel lost its main engines, he found ways to use backup systems. When weapons failed, he rerouted power to keep them firing. Human ships kept fighting even when they should have been destroyed. "Sir, the enemy is retreating from Sector 7, reported Communications Officer Yemen. "They cannot handle our hit-and-run tactics in the asteroid field." The battle continued for hours, but the tide was turning. The Korthaks had superior firepower, but they could not adapt to human fighting methods. They were used to enemies who fought in predictable ways and surrendered when faced with overwhelming odds. Commander Taiwan used his reconnaissance ship to coordinate attacks on isolated enemy vessels. His team identified weak points in Korthok formations and guided strike forces to exploit them. The humans fought like a pack of predators working together to bring down larger prey. Warlord Jektos watched his fleet suffer casualties that should have been impossible. The humans were outnumbered and outgunned, but they refused to be defeated. They adapted to every tactic he used and found new ways to cause damage. "How are they doing this?" he demanded from his tactical officers. "They should have been destroyed hours ago." "Sir, their ships keep fighting even after taking severe damage. Their fighters operate in environments that should kill the pilots. Their soldiers are boarding our ships through holes in the hull." The Korthok commander was beginning to understand that he had made a terrible mistake. These humans were not like other species. They came from a world that had made them incredibly tough and adaptable. The battle for the Vellani system was far from over, but the humans had proven they could fight against impossible odds. The galaxy was about to learn what made Earth's children so dangerous. The final battle began when Warlord Jektos called for reinforcements. His remaining ships were badly damaged, and his crew was terrified of the human fighters. The Korthok Empire sent their best fleet to finish what should have been an easy victory. Over the small human force, Admiral Vakner arrived with 30 additional warships. He was the most feared commander in the Korthok military. His fleet had never lost a battle and had conquered more worlds than any other force in the Empire. He expected to destroy the humans quickly and continue the attack on the Volani planet. Warlord Jektos, you have failed against a primitive species, Admiral Vacner announced over the communication channel. Stand aside and watch how real warriors fight. Captain Wanbin received reports that more enemy ships were entering the system. His fleet was already damaged from hours of fighting. Many human ships were running on backup power and emergency repairs, but the crew showed no signs of giving up. Sir, we are detecting 30 more Korthok vessels approaching our position, Lieutenant Subin reported from her tactical station. They appear to be fresh ships with full weapon capabilities. Then we will have to fight them too, Captain Wanbin replied calmly. All ships prepare for the second phase of battle. The new Korthok fleet attacked with overwhelming force. Admiral Vacner used advanced tactics that had defeated dozens of alien species. His ships moved in complex formations designed to trap enemy vessels and destroy them with concentrated firepower. But the humans did something unexpected. Instead of trying to escape the trap, they used it against the enemy. Commander Sora led her Marines in boarding actions against multiple ships at the same time. While the Korthaks focused on ship-to-ship combat, the humans were fighting inside their vessels. Pilot Nehan discovered that the asteroid belt contained mineral deposits that could be used as weapons. She guided her fighters to push large rocks toward the enemy fleet. The asteroids moved slowly, but they were too big for the Korthok ships to destroy with their weapons. Sir, the humans are throwing rocks at us, one of Admiral Vacner's officers reported in confusion. How can primitive projectiles be dangerous to our advanced ships? Because they are not trying to damage us with the rocks. Admiral Vacner realized too late. They are trying to force us into positions where their other weapons can hit us. The human strategy was working. By using the asteroids to control enemy movement, they could predict where the Korthok ships would go. Human fighters waited in those positions and attacked when the alien vessels tried to avoid the flying rocks. Engineer Gunho made a breakthrough discovery during the battle. The Korthok ships used advanced energy shields to protect themselves from damage. But the shields were designed to stop energy weapons, not physical objects. Human ships could ram through the shields and attack the hulls directly. Captain, I have an idea, Gunho announced over the communication system. Their shields cannot stop solid objects. We can use our damaged ships as weapons by ramming them. Several human ships that were too damaged to continue fighting made suicide runs against enemy vessels. The crews evacuated to other ships while the automated vessels crashed through Korthok shields and exploded against their hulls. The battle reached its climax when Lieutenant Subin led a boarding party against Admiral Vacner's flagship. Her Marines fought through the alien ship while it was still firing on other human vessels. They reached the command bridge and captured the Korthok admiral. This is impossible, Admiral Vacner said as human soldiers surrounded him. How can you fight inside a ship during space combat? How can you survive in damaged sections with no life support? Because we come from a world that tries to kill us every day, Lieutenant Subin replied. Fighting in a damaged ship is easier than surviving on Earth. The capture of their admiral broke the Korthok fleet's will to fight. Without strong leadership, their ships began retreating from the system. Some vessels surrendered while others tried to escape to hyperspace. Commander Taiwan coordinated the final attacks against fleeing enemy ships. His reconnaissance vessels tracked the Korthoks and guided human fighters to intercept them. Very few enemy ships escaped the system. On the Volani planet below, the fighting had stopped. The alien civilians emerged from their hiding places to see human ships protecting their world. Many Volani settlements had been destroyed, but the species had survived. Thanks to Earth's intervention, Dr. Jiwan's research ship arrived at the planet to begin humanitarian aid efforts. She coordinated the delivery of medical supplies and helped evacuate wounded Volani civilians. Her team worked alongside human Marines to provide assistance to the grateful aliens. The humans saved us, the Volani leader broadcast to the galaxy. They came from across the stars to protect people they had never met. They fought against impossible odds and defeated a powerful empire. Earth's children are the protectors we have been waiting for. The news of humanity's victory spread quickly through galactic communication networks. Other alien species learned that the quiet humans from Sol 3 possessed military capabilities far beyond their expectations. The peaceful species began forming new alliances, while aggressive empires reconsidered their expansion plans. The Centaurian Republic sent congratulations to Earth along with offers of increased trade and cooperation. The Andromedan Collective shared advanced technology as a gift to honor human courage. Dozens of other species requested meetings with Earth's diplomats, but the most important change was in how aliens viewed humanity. The term Deathworlder became common in galactic politics. Other species realized that Earth's harsh environment had created a uniquely dangerous and capable species. Admiral Sungho established the first human military base outside the solar system on a moon orbiting the Volani homeworld. The base would serve as headquarters for the new Deathworld Defense Initiative, Earth committed to protecting peaceful species that could not defend themselves. Captain Wanbin was promoted to Admiral and given command of the Galactic Defense Fleet. His victory against the Korthoks made him famous throughout human space. But he remained humble about his role in the battle. "We did not fight for glory or conquest," he said in his official report. "We fought because innocent people needed help. That is what humans do." The Korthok Empire signed a peace treaty with Earth and agreed to leave peaceful species alone. They had learned that attacking defenseless worlds might bring the Deathworlders to stop them. Commander Sora founded the first academy for training alien soldiers in human fighting methods. Many species wanted to learn how to defend themselves. Using Deathworld tactics, the academy became a symbol of cooperation between Earth and its new allies. Years later, historians would mark the Battle of Vellani as the moment when humanity became a major power in galactic politics. But the humans involved saw it differently. They had simply answered a call for help from people who needed protection. Earth's reputation as the home of dangerous Deathworlders spread throughout the galaxy. But more importantly, their reputation as protectors of the innocent made them respected by peaceful species everywhere. Thought the galaxy was safer because the children of Earth stood guard over those who could not protect themselves.